All right, everybody. Welcome to our call this week. It is, I always have to look because I never remember. It is Wednesday, April 12th. So we are almost halfway through another month, which is crazy to me. So today we have another guest speaker. Miss Erica DiMare is so kind to hop on with us and share some of her knowledge. She's going to talk about not only how to be vulnerable and share your struggles, but why that's so incredibly valuable for us to do as coaches. And also, she's going to share some insights on how to just add value to people and, help them trust in you more, to want you to be their coach and to invest in themselves with you as the person who's going to help them out. And a little bit about Erica. We were actually chatting on the phone right before this. She started coaching December of 2014, and she's a lifetime 2-star diamond coach. And I totally meant to ask you, if there are any other cool and exciting things that you wanted me to share, and I totally forgot to. So my apologies. If there's anything else you want to share, though, go for it.
Yeah, so I'm a lifetime 2-star diamond. I started December 2014. I achieved diamond rank in 3 months, and then it took me until April of last year. I became 1-star and then 2-star right away, right, one after the other. So last year, almost a year ago now, yeah, it's April, so a year ago is when I achieved the 2-star, and I opened my second business center, and I got that to diamond in 2 months. I was just in go mode, on a beach body buzzing high, and I was going with it, and I was doing all those daily vital behaviors we're all supposed to do, and then all of a sudden, I feel like I just kind of got caught up in the whole I have to rank advanced. Now I need to be 5-star, and I was focusing on the stars instead of the people. And that's when my business started to backtrack a little bit. So my best advice to anybody is stick with those vital behaviors. The daily 5-5-5, instead of 5, make it 15 or 20, especially if you have a ton of friends. The more friends you have, the more daily number you should be getting out every day. The hey girl messages and the invites, if you don't have a pay group coming up, I always try to have a free group going on, so I always have something to add people to and invite them to. As far as adding value to the free customers and people that aren't quite ready to pay for the challenge package yet. Oh, hold on, there's a question. There's your friend, this girl's talk to more people. Yeah. So the people that aren't ready to sign up and pay the money yet, I think it's really important to show them that you're not just gonna be okay, well then you're off my list. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be there for them. You're not gonna talk to them anymore. You're not gonna message them anymore, because then that's gonna send them the sign oh, I was right. She just wanted me to sign up. She just wanted my money. And you need to be genuine about it. Check in with them once in a while, or when I ask people if they want to join a pay group, and if they say no, right away I'll ask them, because I usually have a free group coming up, or one going. Right now I have one going from now until the summer begins, because I figure summertime's usually really, it's harder to get people to sign up because people are out in the nice weather more often. So myself and my team, we have a free group going from now till summer, and we're hopeful by then we'll have formed all these relationships. There's almost 300 people in the group between all of us, and we're hoping we'll have formed these relationships with all these women, and they're going to want to continue on with us, and hopefully that's when they'll join the group with the challenge package. But yeah, so when they're not ready to buy it, I'll still talk with them, and I'll be okay, well, it's not just about that. What are your goals? What's the body part you want to work on the most? Do you have more trouble with your nutrition or with staying on top of exercising? Do you have any physical limitations? Just ask them questions and learn about them. Learn about what they do, what they don't do, and what their goals are, and kind of, work with them to figure out how you can help them in some other way until they can join a challenge group. Because if you put that time and effort in, and you're genuine and sincere, they're going to know that. They're going to feel it. They're going to feel that you care. And a lot of times that means so much to people that you don't even realize it. Like, that's pretty much the reason why I joined Beachbody, because I didn't have a support system. I didn't have anyone, you know, to cheer me on and help me, or, you know, I didn't know how to eat right, or really, I wasn't into exercising. I would go through like spurts where I would do it, then I wouldn't. So having someone be there and check in with you and still care, even though you're not signing them up, that's huge. So I always, you know, I try to do that. One girl, I've been chatting with her for a few months. She has celiac disease. So I've been going and I've been trying to find her like all these different recipes, and I'll spend like, you know, 15 minutes here and there, like probably like maybe 15 minutes a week. I'll find a few new recipes for her and be like, oh, look at this, I found this and I thought of you. And she really appreciates it. And that also makes it, the more you private message people, the more you pop up on their newsfeed. So it does that too. And, you know, I'll also go and like and comment on their posts a few times a week, so that they're getting a notification with my name on it. They're getting a private message with my name on it. I'm constantly going to be someone they're seeing on their Facebook. Also, I don't know if any of you guys do this, but I find it as a really useful tool. Does anyone create like separate friends lists for people they want to keep in touch with a little more than like your regular newsfeed people? Yeah, no, sometimes. So everyone knows how to do that already? Because if not, I could show you on my screen.
Actually, do you mind going, I haven't done it in a while. Do you mind quickly showing it just in case
Yes.
There's anyone else that doesn't know either? That would be
Mhm.
awesome. I totally did that like a long time ago, and then I forgot how to do it, and someone reminded me, and I started doing it again, and then I stopped. And I think the reason I stopped actually is because I don't think I could figure out where my lists were looking on my phone. On my computer, you can see it because it's like down on the left column. But for some reason on my phone, I couldn't find the list. So I was like, well, what's the point of having a list if I'm on my phone? I can't find it. But I don't know if that was just me, like not knowing.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So from here, you have to create the list in the desktop. You can't, I don't think you can create a friends list on your phone.
Okay.
Right here on the left-hand side, see where it says friends list? You just click on that. And then up top, see, like I already have all these like different lists that I go through, like people from previous jobs I've been at, all my challengers I have in one. So I check in, make sure I check in with different challengers every day, every week.
That's a great
And then I have people I think would be good coaches, people that like my PCOS sponsored ad post. So I make different lists for different things. And then you just come up here, you click create list, you name it whatever you want to name it, you start adding people in, and then you click create. And then once you do that, the way that you can access it is on the desktop, you click the friends list on here, like we just did to get there. But if you're on your phone, I don't know what it would be for the Samsung, the Android, I don't have that one, but for iPhone, when you log on and where is it? And you're on like this page right here, you know, where it shows like all your stuff, it's gonna be under, under explore, you click see more and you click on feeds, and it's under feeds, you'll find that special list that you made. That's
why it's called feeds.
That's how you access it on your phone, at least for the iPhone. I'm not too sure about the Android phone. But that's that. What else? Oh, another good thing too for the customers that aren't quite ready to sign up, like, you know, if you're still messaging with them, informing with them, and they're responding to you and they're not ignoring you, and, you know, they're appreciative of what you're doing, and you really do think they would benefit if they joined, if you have packets on you and you're willing to share like 1 or 2 packets with them, I think it's always a great thing to say, you know, have you ever tried Shakeology before? Would you be interested in trying it if I sent you, you know, I buy packets? Make sure they know that, you know, we don't get packets for free. And just be like, you know, I buy boxes of packets, you know, once in a while, and I have a couple, and I'd love to send them to you if you want to try them. And, you know, send them 1 or 2 packets. Or if you don't have package, you can always send them the Shakeology sampler package. I don't know how much the new ones are now. They're like around $30, I think. And yeah, it's kind of like letting them try it for a week. Or if you have like a shake and share group, you could add them into that. Or you could even add them into your actual challenge group just for a few days. And then if at the end, if they didn't want to sign up, you could like remove them out of there. But then that would give them a little taste of that group and what it's like too. I've done that before. If I didn't have at least like 5 people for a shake and share group and I had given Shakeology packets, I'd put them in my 21-day fix group for a few days, you know, and check in with them. And if they didn't want to sign up, then I would just remove them from that group.
I like that.
What else?
It's a really good idea. I don't send packets enough. I need to get better at that.
Yeah, I usually don't send them for free that often, to be perfectly honest. But I have done it a few times. And then when I do send out like the shake and share packages, I always put like extras in there. So I'll do like, you know, I like to do 5-day shake and shares because I like groups to end on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it goes into the weekend, the group is dead over the weekend. And most people get paid on Fridays. And I feel like if they're going to sign up, more likely to happen on a Friday than on a Sunday or a Monday after the week's over. But that's just me. What was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say now. But yeah. So for free customers, just like try to constantly keep in contact with them. Let them know you're thinking about them. You know, just check on them periodically. Make sure you're liking and comment on their posts once in a while. You know, you don't have to do it every single day and be obnoxious about it. But, you know, just you want to keep your name fresh in their head. So that's that. Does anyone have any questions about any of that stuff?
Let me just write that down. I'm taking notes. I love all the questions that you asked. Like when you're talking to someone to show more interest. So it's not like, oh, okay, so you're not going to make a sale right now. Like, well, that's all right. I still want to know, like, what are your goals? Like, do you have limitations? Like, those are really good questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows, again, that you care. Like, you're not.
And it gives you a reason to keep it contacting them because now they've told you what their goals are. They've told you what their issues is. They told you what they struggle the most with, their nutrition or their fitness. And so each week or every, say, 3 or 4 days, you can go and find them a healthy recipe and be like, here's a healthy recipe for you, you know, or find them an exercise they can do that will work on that one body part that they really dislike about themselves. It's just little things like that. It doesn't take a lot of time, and to them it shows them that you care.
Can I ask a weird question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, and I'm not saying that you do, like anyone would, but has anyone ever reacted negatively to asking questions like, what are your weaknesses? What body part do you like the least? Like things like that? Or are they usually like, just like, they just share it?
No, most of the time they share. Like people like to talk. I find like when you're asking questions, they like to answer you and talk about like themselves and all that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll get like no response once in a while, but most of the time I would say like 95% of the time people reply, and like sometimes they'll give you like a novel or their whole life story.
Oh,
like,
good.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because and this is in my own head, obviously. I'm like, I would never, like some things I'm afraid to ask people, but sometimes I don't even have to ask and they're telling me anyway. So I don't know why I think anyone would care. I'm sure.
Well, think of it this way too. Like, you know, you're you and you want to attract people like you. If someone asked you those questions, would you be willing to answer them to them?
Yeah.
I would be. So I want to find people that would be like that too. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Very good point. Love it.
All right. So now sharing struggles. So I found really early on, like after the very first time I shared like my struggles, I don't remember the first like thing that I posted, but I remember I was scared. I was basically ready to puke the second I pressed like post. I think I ran away from the computer and like hid and was ready to cry, and I was like messaging Nadine, like covering my eyes, like I can't believe I just did that. And she's like, just wait. She's like, just wait till you get the like comments and replies. She's like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, oh my God, what if nobody replies? What if nobody comments? And I was just like sharing my life out on Facebook. Like, I'm one of those crazy people. And she was like, no. And sure enough, you got like all these likes and people commenting and, you know, people saying, you know, you've been through so much and, you know, you're so strong and you're inspiring, you're motivating. Or people sometimes would like send private messages and say that stuff in a private message. And then I was like, ooh, all right, like that kind of felt good. So it's, for me, it's kind of like therapy to like get those posts out there, because getting responses like that and those messages from people that are relating to you, and some of them even thanking you for posting something like that, it makes you feel good. And it's like, by sharing the bad stuff that you went through, people that could be going through that now, like the prior you, the you that you used to be, you could be helping them by sharing that post. So yeah, don't be scared. Like, just do it. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, the first time hurts a little bit, and then just get used to it a little bit more and a little bit more. I try not to do them like all the time, because, you know, on those posts I tend to get like really wordy, because I'm wordy anyway in my posts. My posts are usually on the longer side compared to other coaches, and then that's something I'm trying to work on, is to shorten wording in my posts. But on the struggle posts, I think it's really important. You can't just like be brief on it. You can't just be like, oh, like say I'm posting about like how I grew up and my mother malnourished me, right? So she used to only let me have one microwave meal a day. That was all I could have all day long. So say like I only did a post and I said, oh, you know, I grew up and my mother malnourished me and I got scoliosis and da 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 da. Like, it's not going to mean as much as if I put words in there that are going to make people feel it. Like, I remember sitting in the cafeteria at lunch one day when I was little and watching the kid next to me eat lunch and offer it to me. And I said, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to go into a little more detail on those posts. So that's why you should be sharing your struggles in like nuggets and bits and pieces. And that way too, you can make like 4 or 5 different posts out of even one situation that you've been through, and just share it in like the bits and pieces. So that's what I try to do. But I know I have a lot more than most people have been through. But I'm sure that there's like at least 1 or 2 things that you've been through and you've struggled with in life that other people will relate to, no matter what it is, you know. So I copied some of mine, and I can just show you like the likes. And these posts are the ones that I get the most likes and comments on out of any post that I do.
Oh, I love that.
So see, this one was like about me getting scoliosis, and my mother, like, I got it because they said my mother malnourished me and stuff like that. But then when you go down and you look, see, like, there's over 90 likes and what, like 45 comments or something like that.
That's
like crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, and like that's not all coaches. Like, that's real people commenting.
You look awesome, by the way.
Thank you. What else? I'm trying to see. Is this my PCOS one? I just did one like this today. Because a lot of times, you know how you're on this day? Do you guys have that on your Facebook? So a lot of times, I go to that, and when I see one that's successful, that I did really good with, I'll repeat it. I'll make that one private, and then I'll post a new post with that same exact post. Sometimes I'll do a new picture. Sometimes I'll use the same picture. But don't be scared to like repeat posts that did really well too, especially because you're friend requesting new people every day. And if you're doing that, you're going to have a new audience constantly. So now that post that you're repeating from a year ago, you know, people aren't going to remember it, and it's going to touch these new people the same way it touched those old people a year ago.
That's a really good point.
And a lot of times what I do too is like I use the on this day. And if you have a like page, I'll take my on this day copy it, and I'll paste it onto my like page. So it's a completely different page, same post. Sometimes I'll change the picture if I change anything, or sometimes I'll change a little bit of the wording. But if it was a good post and it had good traction, I'll just reuse it. And I also sometimes, some of the top coaches that you follow, I found this to be really helpful for myself for getting ideas. Sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, I know I need to post, but like you just have like a brain fart and you can't think of what to post about. Yeah. And, sometimes, I know I'll get sick. I feel like I'm posting about the same things over and over, and how many different ways can you word things, and you just get stuck. So a lot of coaches that I follow, when I see a post that they post that I relate to, I will copy their post and I will email it to myself. And in the subject line, I put Facebook post to make my own. So then when I'm stuck for ideas, I go into my email and I search Facebook post to make my own, and I have like 100 that will come up and give me ideas.
I like that.
I don't know if this would work for you, but I actually set up a private group that's just for me. And it's just ideas for Good Life Sisters. So when I see something, all I do is just share it to that group. And it's the same thing. Then it's right there. I don't even have to go searching through email. It's just a private group that's just me and my dead aunt. Because
I was going to say, you have to have one other person to open the group.
Yeah. So
that's not funny.
My aunt, her Facebook profile is still active, even though she's been dead for 4 years. And so she's my plus one.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a good idea.
But it's very convenient, because sometimes there's just something, it's like, it may be a recipe or something you just don't want to immediately post it. But yeah.
You can save stuff now. Although I save mostly like the recipe things and then keep them in saved, but that's a good idea to share it into a group. I wonder, so, I don't like how you have to add at least one person to a group, but I wonder if you like created a group, added one random person, and then can you delete them?
Yes, you can. You definitely can. So I always
feel free to use me and then delete me if anyone wants to do.
That's what I was going to say. You just need somebody to start it, and then you can delete them right away.
Yeah, that's a good idea too, because you can even search within the group page for like specific words. I like that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so many people don't use that search tool, especially like people that you have in your challenge groups. I think so many of them don't know about it. So often I'll post in my group to remind them, like, you can use the search tool. Like, I used to post like recipes of the day every day. You search that and you come up with like 100 recipes.
That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, and then like I know like you guys probably heard this from a million different people, but the wording in your post a lot of times, like, talk like as if you were talking to your former self, to the you that you were before you joined Beachbody and before you had the support and the help and all that. And struggles, it's not just all about the outside. A lot of it is the inside, because, even as people are losing weight, like in The Biggest Loser and stuff, like they go and they sit there with psychiatrists and go to therapy sessions and all that stuff, because if you don't fix the inside too, the outside's like, you can always have that chance of going back on the outside. Mm-hmm. So I'll post about like feelings a lot of times too. And so like this post got a few comments too, just like saying like how you felt like in that before picture. I remember exactly how I felt. I remember a specific instance. I ran into a girl I went to high school with at the mall, and I was like trying to run into the store and hide, and like I literally wanted to disappear. Like, I'll never forget it. Mm-hmm. And to this day, like once in a while, she'll still bring it up, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, remember that time I ran into you in the mall?" I'm like, I know. I'm like, I was cringing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like bring up specific instances like that and that feeling and that emotion, because that's when like you really connect with people. And it's not easy to post those things, but when you make those connections, it makes it all worth it. And like, I don't know if anyone else has been through it, but like miscarriage is like a huge, huge thing. Like I'll always post about it like a couple times a year usually. Like I went through it about 2 years, like, when was it? Yeah, about 2 years ago, I had my miscarriage, and it was I had only been a coach for like 5 or 6 months. I wasn't a coach that long. And it was actually like being part of our groups and our teams that like got me through that period, because me and my boyfriend weren't going good, and like my numbers were off, and then I lost the baby, and then he kicked me out of his house, and I like had nowhere to go. And then Coach Summit was like a week later. I was living out of like a luggage at my aunt's house. Like it was awful. When I went to Summit, like I was in such a bad place. But once I got there and I was surrounded by like all you guys and all of our teams and the people and like all that positivity, like people need that in their lives. They really do.
That is amazing that you still went after all that. I love that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go, and then when my boyfriend had broken up with me, I was like, you know what, I'm going. Like I deserve to go. I had won the free ticket because the Success Starters thing. So I just went. I said, F it.
Good for you.
Living out of like trash bags and Tupperware. I was like, I'm going.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, like I think I really like, it's so true when they say that, you know, it's a relationship business. It totally is. And the more you show people you care, the more you put in that little bit of extra effort. It doesn't even have to take a lot of time. It can be like that littlest thing, like sending them that recipe, sending them, you know, a workout you found, just anything you think that could help them in any way. Like it doesn't even have to be like health and fitness related. Like if you see them post on their page that they're looking for something particular and you know something, find it real quick online and send it to them, and just find a reason to stay in communication with them and message them. And that's it.
I know, it's so true. And you gave me a lot of ideas when you were like showing like your struggle posts and stuff, and I noticed that a lot of them aren't fitness related, and I think it's so easy once you become a health and fitness coach, like a Beachbody coach. You think to yourself, okay, like I need to share my fitness journey, or I need to talk about eating or nutrition or workouts, or like share a sweaty selfie, which is all great, but people are going to relate to you more if you can share more about who you are. It doesn't have to be now too. It can be from years ago, and talking about something that happened to you years ago, or how you used to be, and then sharing how you are now and why and how it's different and what you did to make it different. Because that takes people on the journey with you, but they could be where you were. Oops, I almost just knocked something down. Sorry. They could be where you were, but see you where you are now and be like, okay, if she can get from there to here, or here to there, or whatever, like maybe I can do it too. And they're going to start paying more attention to you. They're going to, if you talk with emotion, or like you said, like share a story. How did you feel in that moment? You know, people are going to, it just draws the right people into those types of posts, which is huge for attracting your tribe and your people. And that's like where you build the best connections with people.
Yeah. And if you guys like don't already, I'm sure you all probably do, but you know, figure out what your struggles are, and maybe find like those Facebook group pages for them, or like any other Facebook group pages that like relate to your brand and who you are, or like your hobbies and your interests. Like if you're crafty, like they have Facebook groups for absolutely everything. And I would definitely like join a couple if you haven't already, and just start like making friendships with people that way too. Like that's a great way to go about friend requesting people too, because so many of us know so many of the same people, you know. And then where did I see it? Oh, it's Super Saturday. I don't know if you guys were all there. You probably were, right? Mm-hmm. When she said like, you know, try not to use the suggested friends, like that really clicked with me, because it's true. And I try never to friend request through those friend suggestions, because they are mostly all friends with coaches that I'm friends with already.
See, it didn't even occur to me. Like I always look and I'll see, and if there is like a coach, I won't friend them. I hope that I'm not friending people because then I don't know if someone's a coach, but obviously that's a possibility. But I will notice more often than not, the people in the suggested friends already have a friend who's a coach, but it never, like in my mind, I was never thinking like, find other ways to find friends. Mm-hmm. So that was like such an obvious thing, but not really until someone points it out and you're like, well, duh, why didn't I think to go to my friend's friends?
Yeah. Oh, and I was telling JC too, we chatted real quick on the phone before this call, but I don't know who has like pages and who doesn't, but I had wasted like a ton of money on those like boosted ads, you know, and for interest, like I didn't know what I was doing. For interest, I would just put like Dunkin' Donuts and this and that. Like I put like crazy things like Patriots. I just tried to think of like anything like that I like to do or whatever. And I was never getting any traction on them or anything like that. So I finally boosted one, and within the post I mentioned like I had PCOS and, you know, this, that, and it helped me with my numbers. And I limited the interest to just like 3 or 4 categories that all had to do with PCOS, and it like took off. So if you have something that like you can zone in and do interest just for that one thing and only put like 3 or 4 different categories, I would highly suggest you try to do a boosted post with that. And even if you only do like, you know, like $2 or $3 a day to start, to just see if it gets like those hits, it would definitely be worth it. Because I'm doing mine for like $5 a day, and I run it like on and off periodically, because once I get so many likes and comments, I'll friend request those people and start filming with them. So I pause it. I pause the boosted ad, and then I'll just start it back up again. But it's gotten over like 1,000 likes and like 150 comments or something crazy like that. So it's a great way to make new friends that way too, because they saw that post, they liked it, they commented on it for a reason. So
That's awesome. And that connects you with them
right,
separately, but still you're connected, and they're like, that's something that they probably love seeing people talk about, and they want to look at your page, and then they see more about you because you're posting on your page about other things too. And it's just a snowball. I love that. What else did I write down? This was so good. I like the idea of previewing challenge groups for people.
yeah, we had done like a 5-day sneak peek into the 21-day fix before, and we had it in like a separate group page. But I mean, it was good. We shared about like the 21-day fix and all that. Like it was one of my coach's ideas, my coach Christina, and it was good. Like I think she might have had a few signups from it, but I don't think I got any from that. But I have let them into our actual large 21-day fix group for like people that have gotten like the 5 or 7 days Shakeology packages. And if I don't have at least 5 people to do like a shake and share, I don't want to do it. Like I feel like you need more people. So I'll stick them in the big group.
That's a really good idea. And then they get a taste of like the accountability, like the support and all that stuff. That's really smart. And I'm assuming your shake and share groups is like strictly Shakeology education, like videos and what these ingredients are, what they do, type of stuff. That's something that I need to do more of. So.
And then like each day of it, I'll share a different coach's progress and their story.
Oh, I like that. That's a really good idea. That's smart. Because I feel like so much about Shakeology has to do with education, because so many people compare it to just any other protein shake, and it's not that. It's so much more than that. So like digging deep into that and showing people like I don't just say that to say it, like I mean it. This is why.
You know who's like really good about posting about like any kind of objections we always get? Bonnie Ingles really good about that.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. And I've seen a few that Colleen Curtis has done too. I think she just did one today about Shakeology that I saw.
I loved that one.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's always great to like answer objections within your posts. I think that's cool.
I agree. Because not a lot of people have those objections, fears, misconceptions, all that stuff. So kind of just laying it out there is a good way to just show people who might not even be, or who like might be too afraid to ask you, but maybe they're thinking it, and then you post about it and they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe now I'll message her because she just answered my question without me having to ask it, and now I'm more interested. What else did I write down? Yeah, I think I love your idea about making the separate friends lists and categorizing it like challengers. You can even make a coaches one, like prospects, or like stuff like that, because I mean, sure, we can use things like Teamsy, or if you have like a notebook, you can write people down, but
You're always on Facebook.
right. And it's kind of like doing that, but in the place where you would want to go and interact with them anyway. So it like almost kind of takes a step out of that, because then you can go to your challengers. All of them are there and their Facebook pages are there, and you can like stuff that way. Or, I mean, if you have a list, you can always type in their name and do it, that way too. But it's just kind of like almost taking a step or two out of it and making it all there. All you have to do obviously is categorize each person as they move from one category to another, but that's a really good idea.
And tips for maintaining the lists. I usually go through it like every so often. I'll go to the desktop version and I'll see who's still in it. And if I've already contacted them a few times and, I really don't think that they're going to like sign up, sometimes I'll delete them, but sometimes I'll still keep them in there and keep in touch with them every so often. And I also use my Facebook Messenger, and I scroll all the way to the bottom of my messages, and like I'll message those people like every so many days. I'll go to the bottom of my messenger list and just message them like, hey girl, you know what I mean? I keep track that way too, because I have a ton of storage on my phone. Like I got the biggest gigabytes there was, because my old phone kept telling me I had no storage, and I was like, oh hell no. So I got like the 128 one. I'm not fooling around.
I didn't know that existed.
Oh, 128 gigabytes. I have every app, everything. Yep.
Oh, that is so what I'm getting next time.
And it's a tax write-off.
Oh.
It was worth $600.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You can write your phone off? Okay.
Yeah, your cell phone bill every month, the cost of your phone, it's all tax write-off.
Okay. Good to know. That's awesome. So, side note, because I will share it with you guys, and Erica, I can share it with you too, but I was in that Diamond Dash group I was kind of like talking about a little bit before. Raina Odell did the live power hour today, and she is going to share like a ton of scripts that she uses for follow-ups. So like I was kind of blown away, and I know we hear this all the time, but like it takes sometimes 7, 8, 9, 10 plus follow-ups for someone to eventually not only say yes, but follow through basically, and like join your group or buy a challenge pack or join as a discount coach or whatever it is that they eventually end up wanting to do. It can take 7, 8, 9, 10 or more times. So she has Google Streak. If you guys use Gmail, you can get Google Streak for free, which does a lot of stuff on its own. But the reason she uses it is for what's called, oh crap, where is it? Hang on. I totally just forgot what it was. Oh, snippets. So there's a little button, which I don't have it, so I can't even show you. Sorry. And I can even like do a call on this if that makes this easier. But there's a little thing so you have your Gmail open and you're going to email someone. So your email is open to that person. There's a little orange button at the bottom that's snippets. You can click on it and you can add in all of your scripts ahead of time and click follow-up 1. It'll populate in your email, and that is what you send as your first follow-up. And then you email that person, and then they maybe respond back. If they don't, she has a schedule where she sets up to follow up with that person in a week or 2. She goes to her snippet, clicks up to follow-up number 2, clicks it, populates, sends it. So like total time saver. And I mean, obviously depending on what people say and where the conversation goes, you may have to veer off a little bit, but more often than not, the way that she showed us and the order that it goes, like it totally makes sense and is a huge time saver, because you're not constantly saying the same stuff over and over to people. It's there. And then she has scripts for what she says if people say yes to something or if they say no to something. I was like, oh my God, like how long did this take you to create? But she's like, I'm going to share all this with you guys. And I was like, oh, thank God. So I will gladly share it.
You can even with those snippets, you can use like, I forget what tokens, I think is what they're called. So you can say like, dear first name, and it plugs in their first name if that's one of the fields you have. So you can just select a whole bunch of people and send it out.
Shut up.
No,
That's awesome.
it is awesome. And because when I was using Streak, I did it, and it would be like, I even had like a token of the date of the last time I talked to them, and I was like, I don't know if you got my email that I sent you on 8/3, whatever, and you know, it's
Wow.
very cool and definitely automated. You can send a big chunk all at once.
That's
I have a question for you guys. So I find when I send, you guys use the like voice memo recorder on your messenger? Yeah.
yeah.
I was using it, and now I can't make it work anymore as of yesterday.
Well, my big thing is I feel like when I use that and I send the voice message, I feel like they either don't listen to it because, you know, their face won't pop up next to it, or they just reply most of the time. I get more replies when I send the actual like typed out message. Anybody else?
It kind of depends. Sometimes I get replies and other times I don't. And I wonder if it's because people are like, what in God's name is this? Like, what are they going to say? I'm afraid to like push play and like I don't know what's going to come. And
I think a lot of people like don't know about that feature.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out how to get it to work with some upgrade. I mean, I used it all the time when I was driving. It was like a great thing. And now there was an
Maybe
different.
What's that?
Maybe you have to go in under settings, maybe?
I don't, literally now I can see it. I click on voice but nothing comes up where you would hold the button.
So that's what you do. You hold the voice button down now. So the little microphone, hold that down. Instead of clicking that and then seeing the red record.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the little red record button anymore. All you do is hold down the microphone and then start talking. It's the same exact thing except for no red button.
Okay. It wasn't, I tried everything while I was driving home today and I couldn't get it to work. So I'll have to try it again.
Yeah, I was confused for a little while because I kept clicking on it too and it says hold down to record and I'm like, hold what down?
Nothing. It doesn't even say that for me though. Like I open
So you don't open anything anymore. That's why you just hit the microphone and hold it.
Oh, now it's set. Now, you know what? Now it worked. So I don't know. Good.
They change things and then it's like, what?
What'd you do? You're messing with my
routine.
Yeah. So Erica, so we signed up the same exact time. Because I signed up in December or late November or early December 2014. How in the world did you get to Diamond that quickly? I'm still at Emerald, and it's
like
you are so close though.
I've been so close since May of 2015.
Well, you know what I think it really was too? Like when I started the fixed nutrition.
Oh wait, what's going on? Wait.
I know the sounds.
Hold on, maybe I gotta mute. Maybe if you guys mute yourselves, maybe that's it.
Your voice sounds like a robot.
I sound like a robot? Good? Okay. So yeah, I found I really took off when I started with the fixed nutrition. And that was about a month after I started, because I started with Body Combat. Nadine was like, you really should start with the fix. You know, all the coaches do the fix. You're going to want to get it. And, you know, Combat's cheaper. Sign up with the fix, get Combat later with your discount. And I'm like, no, I want Combat. I want to do kickboxing. So I signed up with Body Combat and Shakeology. And then I seen, you know, everyone posting with their colors and their containers. And I was like, well, all right, I guess I'll get that now. And I had actually like started coaching. So I was like, I need to know that if I'm going to be signing people up with it. So I got that. And, you know, I had been eating what I thought was pretty healthy and pretty well. But, you know, like I said, I also have PCOS. So that makes it harder for me to lose weight too. And it's a lot easier for me to put it on. And it like messes up my whole system. So once I started the fixed nutrition, I lost 25 pounds in 3 pant sizes in 2 months. It was like the weight was just like melting off of me. One week I was posting I was a size 8. The next week I was like a size 6. And then like the next week I was a size 4. And people were just like, what? And I'm posting pictures of me holding my old shorts out to like here from like the year previous. And like I showed pictures of my weight on the actual scale to show people, like, you know, my first 9 days of doing body combat, I lost like, you know, my first like 20 days, I lost like 9 pounds. And I was showing people, I was showing up every day. I was posting my progress like every week. And that's like what was doing it. People were seeing the crazy results I was getting so fast. You're muted. I can't.
I know, but it's more than showing your results. To get to diamond, you have to get people to become leaders and sign people up. So how did you motivate people to do that? Or did you just place people? Did you just like have your own people under you that you built out under you?
Oh, nope. Nope. I didn't put coaches under anybody under me except my second business center. So any of my coaches that have coaches, they've all done that on their own. So, you know, to get to the emerald, they need the one coach on each leg. And that was like the hardest part of getting to diamond. And I had one of my good friends signed up, and I like was just like helping her with like what I said to people and giving her that, and she was using that. So it's like, you know, those new coaches and coaches that haven't ranked and haven't been coaches for a while, the biggest thing is they lack confidence, and people pick up on that. If you're not confident in what you're telling people, they sense that, and they're not going to want to sign up with you. But if you're telling them, you know, like I never ever mention the price in my messages until I've explained what they get for it. That's how I do it. And then once they want to sign up, I pretty much only sign people up as coaches. I don't sign up anybody as a challenger. Because the way that I word it, I'll show you. Hold on. What do I say? I word it in a way that's kind of like, oh yeah, I want that. So it's like, I kind of put it in their head that that's what they want to do. Let me find it. Oh, so once I explain everything and what they get, and they say, yep, I want that. And then, you know, I go over the price, and they still say, yeah. And I say, okay, I say, you know, do you want me to sign you up so you'll get 25% off starting your second month? Or do you want me to sign you up as a full price customer? I never mention the word coach because that scares the hell out of people, I think. Excuse me. And I say it's the same price to sign up either way. And it's up to you. And if you decide you didn't want that second month of shakes, you can cancel really easy. It's just like a form you submit online or a phone call. And I said the difference is, you know, it's the same price at sign up, but starting the second month, you'll save almost $30 a month. Because, yeah, the price of Shakeology is only like a $15 difference. But if you add in the tax and the shipping, it's almost a $30 difference. So that's what I tell people. And then they almost always say, oh, yeah, I want the discount. And then that's when I say, okay, just to let you know, when you get the email, because I sign everyone up with the app, so it sends them the email. I said, once you get the email, it's going to say you're signing up as a coach. Don't pay any mind to it. It's just so you get the discount. You don't have to do anything. And like I said, you can cancel anytime you want it if you want. And they're all like, okay.
I know what you mean, though, as far as like, because I feel like that's where I had a big part of my business was coaches that I signed up that way. So it was like for the discount, which is great. And I like to offer that to people because I would want someone to tell me how to save money. So that's kind of how I present it too. I'm like, I am all about saving money. I assume everyone else is. So like, this is an option for you. You don't have to do it this way, but that's an option. But as far as then getting people to want to sign people up with them. So I wonder, and this is a struggle that I have as well, and I think it's a really great question. So I guess I don't I don't have a good answer for that right now, but that's definitely one of like the things on my list that I'm really kind of striving to figure out, because I think it's so important to help your new coaches have immediate, not necessarily immediate success. Am I echoing? Sorry, maybe it's just me. I feel like I'm echoing. You want to help your coaches have success. And like Erica said, it comes with confidence. And when you're a new coach, it's hard to know how to talk to people, how to post. So I think a really big thing that I want to make, like for my own personal goals, and obviously I'm going to share with you guys as I do it, but is developing like script ideas for how they can maybe create posts or how they can talk to people, sharing or showing people where in the Coach Online office is all these forms that they've created for us that help you, the 5-step invitation process or how to handle objections. Like all that stuff is in the back office that I forget about, and they're all revamping and like bringing out new stuff all the time. Like Kim Carver talked about, I shared it in our team page about this new inviting form that they have to help us learn how to invite, but just giving new coaches or just coaches in general the confidence to share these things and to know that you can help people sign up just the way that I helped you sign up. Like it's not a hard thing to do, but wording matters. So sharing stuff like that, like small little things like that, or having your coaches say like, what do you feel comfortable sharing? What do you not feel comfortable sharing? Like, let's talk about it and like, let me help you get comfortable. Or, if someone's having a conversation with someone, like Candace asked us the other day, like, do you have your coaches show you conversations that they're having with people? And I don't really have any of my coaches do that, but it might be valuable because I remember when I first started and the amount of word vomiting that I did on people was like horrific. So I don't know how I got anyone to get anything. It was awful. So, but like you're a new coach, you don't know. Like to me, I was like, give them all the information. Like I love to know all this stuff. They're going to want to know it too. No, they don't want to know that, but you don't know what's right and what's wrong as a new coach. So I think it's, helping them have confidence, encouraging them to just keep, doing as best as they can with their programs and with drinking their shakes and sharing how they're feeling, maybe encouraging them to like journal about it if they're open to that. Because what I know is when I'm on point with like doing the workouts, drinking the shakes, eating the nutrition, everything about me changes. Like I'm more confident just like talking about any of this stuff because you can't help it. And helping them get to that point, realizing like it does take some time to get to the point where you feel those changes in yourself, but pay attention to that. Notice it. Sorry, the Bruins must have scored a goal. Notice when that happens and
tag them in the post.
Oh, that's a good idea too. And constantly having challenge groups to invite to is like a huge thing. Like new coaches, you don't expect them to like whip up their own challenge group right away. So having like free group templates or something that they can use, but then having like a free group or a challenge group and just saying, listen, you can invite your coaches to this one. Let them see how it is, and then like you can invite to this and get people interested, get people on this journey with you. It doesn't have to be like buy this from me or look at this challenge back promo. It's like I have decided to take care of myself and I'm looking for some extra accountability. Like who wants to come with me? Who's ready? Who wants to join me? But I mean, I totally know what you mean, Lauren. It's hard to kind of get that interest from people, to get people wanting to do those things. So, and I honestly haven't been super successful with it yet, but those are just some ideas that I kind of have been thinking of myself, but I totally want to work hard on developing better ways for that.
I've been trying to like check in with my coaches just about like once a day or every other day, like since we've been doing this like bat thing. Not all of them, but like I'll pick like certain coaches and I'll just check in with them randomly. And I find like it's getting them more active. It's getting them to do more of the daily behaviors and all that stuff. And I know what's going on with them in their business more, where before I really didn't know.
That's a good idea. And I love your comment about the 3-day refresh, because that's an instant like 3-day progress pick. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because a lot of times I think coaches feel like they don't have a lot to post about, especially about their like weight loss, until they've completed their first challenge. And even still, sometimes it may not be that drastic, you know what I mean? But I feel like the refresh is always like, I feel it just like sucks all the bloat out, and all women could use that. So if they do a refresh, they get that picture and they post it. I mean, you could even offer them if you wanted. I mean, if they were signing up to be a business coach and you knew they wanted to be a business coach, if you had the money and you wanted to, you could be like, I'll split, you make your package a Kickstart and I'll split the extra $40 with you. You'll have instant result pictures in 3 days. You know what I mean?
That's
I don't know.
idea.
Take like an extra $10 from the Kickstart challenge package. So it's really only like you're paying $10 towards their refresh to help them get some result pics.
That's a good point. And that would build their own confidence too. You know, depending on who the coach is too. Like some people that you're talking to, they already have experience with the Beachbody program or product from the past or whatever. So they might already have like that belief or some sort of a belief and like know that this stuff works, but not everyone knows. And you might have someone who might just be like excited to not only start their fitness journey, but maybe dive into coaching. So that could be a good opportunity for not only them to get a progress pick real quick, but for them to be like, holy shit, this stuff does really work. And like, you can't help but get excited about that type of thing too. And then another thing I know some coaches do is and obviously this depends on what you're able to do. So I never, like, you can't always afford to like offer like prizes or things like that, but a simple gift could be like a $10 or $15 Amazon gift card for your next PD book or something, or like little gifts like that can be like an Emerald incentive or, but I mean, on the other hand, you're kind of like, people are going to do it or they're not going to, and it doesn't always necessarily depend on you and what you're giving them, because I'm sure you're giving guidance and like explaining things, and people move at their own pace, or they, you know, they're gonna either take what you give them and run with it, or they're gonna maybe not run with it, or maybe not use it at all. Like, it's kind of, you know, we're the worst predictors of where things are going to go. Like, sometimes people who you think are going to be rock stars are maybe going to be great in the beginning and then fall off. Whereas people who come out of the woodworks are all of a sudden like the coaches who are going to like take off and go running, and they're not even really going to need you. It's like, it's kind of crazy how we're just not very good predictors at that type of thing. But, you know, I do think there is a way to make it easier and to help coaches achieve Emerald, but that's definitely something on my list to really focus on, because gaining Emerald is such a big part of being a coach, and I think people don't take it as seriously as it should be taken, because it sounds like people, you know, you join as a coach and you start to see like these rank advancements, and you hear about these diamond coaches, these star diamond coaches, these superstar diamond coaches, and you're like, well, that's not happening right now. Like, that's an impossible goal. Like, you're just starting out. You don't know what you're doing. But something as simple as becoming an Emerald coach and signing up one person on each leg opens the door for you to start earning a residual income. So maybe just stressing that and helping people, you know, being an Emerald coach is a big deal. Like, that is a huge accomplishment. It's not easy to get, but once you get it, it just kind of like like opens the door for so much more to happen in the business. And I think so often, like, we maybe get lost in not saying that as much as we should, like myself included. Like, I don't think I encourage people enough, and I don't really know why.
Like, once someone gets to Emerald, they get that like beach body buzzing feeling, and once they do that, it's like if they can do that, 3 more times, and then help one person on each of their legs do it, that's diamond.
Yeah.
When you say it that way, it sounds a lot more attainable than saying you need 4 coaches on each leg and for 1 coach on each leg to be an Emerald. So like, what? That's spinning.
Yeah. And then just focusing on helping people and building relationships. And like, sometimes it naturally happens and other times it doesn't. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where I don't know that there's like any right or wrong way to go about it, but there's definitely a strategy I think that can be learned. And as a leader, like, I need to be leading coaches more into how big of a deal it is to be an Emerald coach, which I don't do, but I want to start doing, because I remember when I turned Emerald, it was like the coolest thing ever. You're like, yeah, that's right. Like, I rank advanced. Like, holy crap. It does like make you so excited. And you can earn, like, you can start getting so many things once you're an Emerald coach. It's really cool. I don't think that answered your question at all. Sorry, that was wicked long-winded. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Renee's ready for bed.
What time is it? I can't even see. Oh, crap. Sorry. It is kind of late. Sorry, guys. Well, Erica, thank you so much. This was so helpful. I can't wait to share the recording so everyone else can hear it. And I can share it with you too once I have it, if you want to share it with your team.
That'd be awesome.
And yeah, if no one has any questions, then I guess we'll call it a night. Thank you guys for joining. Have an awesome night, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Erica.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.